anybody ever had a really crappy Christmas? A few of you. And what made it crappy? I'm not going to ask you to respond. But think to yourself, what made it crappy?
Expectations.
Expectations. Expectations. Every single time. Anytime we are in concern or doubt, it's those expectations that aren't being met. It's somehow believing that something should be happening that isn't happening. I'm not getting what I want. You know, we watched The Christmas Story last night. Silly little movie. And I asked Rick at the end of the movie, I said, what was your favorite Christmas present that you ever got? And I asked it because I honestly couldn't answer that. And he couldn't either. And some of you might have those warm, fuzzy memories of something that you wanted so badly that you got. I don't. You know, what made it Christmas good or bad for me was the sense of love. We're back to these same ideas. Are you seeing a kind of common thread going on here? If there was arguing, if there was fighting, anybody have families that argued or fight over the holidays? That's why I'm here. I'm not with my family. For me, it's better. But it doesn't come down to what we get, what we don't get. What happens, what doesn't happen. Our judgment of the experience is what creates good, bad, wonderful, or crappy. We are the only ones who do that. And that's what we teach here, that it's all in our minds, that it's our choices that create. Who's got card number 5?
I do. It says, time to get your Mary on.
It's Christmas on the front. Time to get your Mary on. I don't want any jokes about who Mary is and who's getting on Mary. We're here to be joy. That's what we teach here. We are here to laugh. That laughter is as sacred as anything else. And we teach here that if there's anything in your life that is not creating perfect bliss, God, Rick, I'm saying it again. You can change it now. I made that statement in a class 10 years ago. Somebody came to me the next day and quit their job. Said, I've got my resignation in hand. I'm quitting my job. I'm going to go do what I want to do. I had multiple relationships break up, and I got to tell you, mine was one of them. Because I went home and said, this ain't working for me. It's not creating bliss. If there's anything in your life that is not creating bliss, you can change it now. And if there's anything out there that you know will create your bliss, you can go get it right now. It's yours. We are here to be joy, to be light. We can't be that if we're beaten down by our experience, or we're judging our experiences as something other than what they really are. If we're bottled up in fear and worry and doubt, we aren't free to express. And that's where the joy comes from. That's where the bliss comes from. Who's got card number 5? 6. 6. Oh, we're on to 6.
May your Christmas be sprinkled with magic and decorated with joy.
May your Christmas be sprinkled with magic and decorated with joy. Was there a picture in that one?
Yep. 2 little kid angels or fairies making cards, making treats, and then a little baby inside.
There's a picture of a baby. My best friend from high school, that's her new granddaughter. Got to see her this summer. That's where my joy comes from. My joy comes from whether I'm showing up here, whether I'm occasionally going down to the high school and helping with the band stuff for Ricky, whether I'm on the road visiting with friends and family, because every trip we take, we stop and visit a friend or a family beyond the people that we see when we go on these adventures every month. That's where my joy is. My joy comes from those connections. My joy comes when I hug Leanne or Joe. My joy comes from seeing a smile on somebody's face. I hadn't seen my best friend from high school in 20 years. And we went this summer and visited her, and that's her new grandchild. But where is this magic? It talks about magic. What is the magic that we teach here? Well, I've kind of already alluded to it in a different form. The magic we teach here is that everything you send out comes back to you. Which is why we tell you to be very vigilant about what you're sending out. Because it all circulates back. The world isn't linear, it's circular. Everything comes back around. Seasons come back around. Life comes back around. Cycles of life. We start in diapers, we end in diapers.
Andrew, you're not laughing.
It's because I've got to change my diaper.
That's the magic. That's the magic. When we can laugh at ourselves. When we can stop and put away the expectations, the judgment, the worry, the doubt. When we can put that garbage away and just laugh at what's going on. If you have a moment this week, this month, this year coming up, if you have a moment where you find yourself in worry, when you find yourself in turmoil, stop. I do this regularly. Because I'm like you. I find myself in doubt or worry. Occasionally. So when that happens, I stand there and I feel my feet on the ground. And I go, it's okay. Right this moment. It's okay. And it all goes away. I know that sounds ridiculous, but when I can remember that right here, this moment, everything is just fine. Usually, what we're worried about is projections of things that haven't even happened yet. None of it's happened. So if we stop and say, right here, right now, everything's okay. I am fine. All is really well inside of me. It doesn't matter what's going on the outside. Magically, the fear, the stress, they go away, they melt. And we can find ourselves lifted in spirit to where we do manifest everything that we need. It always works. You've heard me say it before, you're going to hear me say it again. Everything that I thought were the worst things that ever could happen in my life ended up being the best things. I am the worst judge of what's going on in my life. Because as I look back 20, 30, maybe only 10 years, to the things that I thought were so awful, ended up being magnificent. And I am where I am and who I am today because of it. Magic. Didn't know we taught magic, did you, Angie? Card number 7.
May all your Christmas wishes come true.
May all your Christmas wishes come true. I think the front of that card said, let it snow.
It says, let it snow, and it has some little puppies eagerly looking out a mail slot.
I held that card and I really wanted it to snow. Thank you for bringing snow.
I did the best I could.
Thank you. I really wanted it to snow.